afternoon, everyone. My name is Arthur.
And I'm Ryan.
And we have Brother Ramon and Sister Marie here in our third episode of Casting the Net. So let's give them a welcome here.
Welcome.
Welcome.
So thank you for being here today, and thank you for wanting to join us in our interview. And we look forward to, learning and also you sharing, your life and your witness to us. So.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about yourselves? I know Art knows you well, but this is the first time I've had the pleasure of speaking with you.
All right. I'm Ramon de la Cruz. I've been retired since 2018, and so far that's what I'm doing is just basically because of the pandemic. It's basically just doing stuff around the house and doing chores and that kind of stuff. But other than that, going to church and can't really go out and do anything else. So basically just staying at home.
That's a honey-do list, right? You're probably getting a lot of that out.
Of it.
You got it out of my mouth. I'm Marie de la Cruz. Been married to this man for how many years now?
43 years.
43 years.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
I'm still working. I'm not retired. I look forward to retirement as well. I was born and raised in the Philippines. I came when I was 22, I think. So been here quite a while. We've been a parishioner of Our Lady Mount Carmel since 1987. We have 2 kids, all grown, a boy and a girl. First one is a girl. I have 3 grandchildren, and Matthew, the younger one, is still swinging single.
So you just mentioned that you're working from home. So this is just a general question.
Right.
Are you, because I also see that you like to garden. Are you 90% gardening and 10% working from home? Or are you, what's the ratio?
Secret. we were allowed to go out because it's so hard to be working from home. So I said, if you need to take a break, take your break. So I guess the garden is the break time of, talking to the plants, watering the plants, go right back and, got your phone with you while you're watering the plants. So kind of working out well somehow.
As long as you're taking your breaks, right? So.
In regards to gardening, when I was going to retire, you know what he told me? Before you do anything else, once you retired, before you go anywhere, before you do anything else, make sure you water my plants.
Garden, and you mentioned talking to the plants, and maybe that's what I'm doing wrong, because if I showed you mine, it doesn't look nearly anything like yours. So
I pray with them too. When they're dying, I pray to the Blessed Mother, Mama Mary, please make this plant alive.
I'm gonna try.
Very therapeutic, actually. It's a time of reflection, actually, when I'm gardening as well. So.
That's great. So you did mention you've been in Rancho Penasquitos for quite a while, and I saw that before that you lived in San Isidro, right? And then
That's right.
moved up to the Penasquitos area. You mentioned 1987. So I believe, was that right around when OMLC first formed as a parish? And were you part of that original group? And what was it like at the beginning?
We were not part of the original group, but we were still, of course, we were one of the, I guess, we used to have the thermometer, and we're still having mass at the Faucet Hall. Well, it has grown dramatically, for sure. And we have our kids too, kids who are going to church with us, but now we see a whole lot more of kids going to church, and that's really beautiful. So, and maybe we need to give Father Anthony credit for that, because he's encouraging a lot of young adults and their kids to really participate in a lot of the activities. And we want to be friends with everybody.
So there you go.
That's the secret.
If you see Maria or Ramon at church, go say hi.
This pandemic is going to be gone pretty soon, so that we can do more and go out and really try to, as much as possible, do whatever we were doing before actively. So hopefully, we'll be able to actually do a lot more than what we've done.
social workers. So one of the things that I really got attracted to when they opened we started the mental health ministry, really get involved with that. There was a lot of people when Kent Peters, I think, was the one who came and talked to our parish to start a mental health ministry, because there's really such a need for our church, or a lot of churches, or should be churches, should be involved, should know a little bit more about how to deal with mental health issues, because it's such a taboo. Mental illness is not something that we talk about readily, but a lot of people that, especially with the Philippines, I can truly speak for this community, we don't talk about it. And so just to educate people, let them be aware that there are services, that it's mental health or mental illness is just like any other physical ailment that you need to seek treatment for. So when that came about, I got really passionate about it and got involved. In fact, you were with us at the start, with us at the start of the committee. So that's one involvement that I have. And of course, I drag along Brother Ramon. So he's like one of our auxiliary committees, so that when we have events, he's there setting up, doing all the other things that we need to do. So that's one. The other one is I've been lecturing also. I've been a lecturer for over 10 years now. So
Wow.
the ministry. And in the beginning, when we just started here in Rancho Peñasquitos, actually, we used to have choirs. We have multiple choirs, as you know, but one of the choirs, we were instrumental in starting one of the group choirs as well. In the beginning. That was our first involvement in the church is choir.
So you really don't do much with the church then?
And of course, we also have the Filipino Traditions Committee before. Yeah, we're also very involved with that one.
So for you, can you share us how being a lector, how that challenges you, and how does it affect your faith?
Before I was really scared. I talk a lot. And that should be piece of cake, but it isn't. Lecturing is, you're proclaiming. I mean, not only that, I think there's that expectation that when you lecture, you might as well be living what you're claiming. So to me, that was a challenge when I became a lector. So it's really a ministry that has made me grow, because I got to read more, practice more, and as you read and as you prepare to be a lector, you really need to understand what you're proclaiming. And to me, that has been a source of, let's say, part of my growth, I guess, spiritually, because then all of a sudden, in the past, I didn't read the Bible. Then all of a sudden, I have a desire to really read more, understand more about scriptures. Mm-hmm. That's what has made me grow more in my faith. Is more about the scriptures and learn more about what I'm proclaiming as a lector.
I think our involvement in the Cursillo is most of all the one that's actually helping us and really persuaded us to really move on and with our faith. We've been in the Cursillo since in the 1980s, and since then we have not left. We're still active in the Cursillo. We've been in the leadership, and we've been in different activities of the Cursillo, and we've made friends through the Cursillo also. And even our kids, when they were young back then, when we were active in the Cursillo, we bring them along, and they made friends with other kids from the other Cursillistas. And until now that they're grown up and they have family of their own, they're still connected with those kids that they interacted with when we were still in the Cursillo back then. Still, right now, we're still continuing with it. Every Friday, we have a Zoom, what we call group reunion also with the different Cursillistas around the parish. And we kept it going so that, the Cursillo will still continue on. And hopefully we will be able to attract other other individuals to join us eventually when the pandemic is gone. We're able to go ahead with having classes in the Cursillo. Hopefully they get attracted to us and join us eventually also. So that's basically what kept us going is our involvement in the Cursillo.
Giving a description of exactly what is Cursillo for those that, like me, that aren't completely familiar with exactly what it is, and what is the mission of Cursillo? For those watching. Yeah, if you're recruiting me, I guess give me your elevator speech for Cursillo.
It's actually evangelization by using friendship in a way. Not really lecture or you know or give sermons and that kind of stuff for you to but being a friend, showing you that you know that we're such kind of a friend. You get attracted to it, and that we don't really advertise that much or you know show ourselves that or announce ourselves that we're Cursillistas.
We just live it.
We just live it, and by our actions, hopefully people get attracted to us.
That's great.
How come they're living in such a way? How come they're so religious or something like that?
We're happy.
We're happy, you know.
Oh, that's great.
We have a lot of friends, so hopefully I can join and also
Be a part of that.
Be a part of it and have a lot of friends also just like them.
So when you see Cursillista, you can see that we're really close to each other. And, you know, we develop that sense of being comfortable with each other. And then we really, truly become a community and one of the things that we hope to do in the Cursillo is that this community has become the backbone of Christian life. When you say backbone, these are the nucleus of Christians that will be like the light of the world, if you want to use that term. And you know, it's been really the Cursillo is also a gift. I would say it's a gift to us because, like what Brother Ramon has stated earlier, our children, the Cursillista children, became friends with each other, and it's such a neat support group. And like he said, the friends that I have in the Cursillo, they still know each other, and I think that's how that's how we raised our kids, is around Cursillistas, around Cursillista kids. Camp together, we go and shop together, we go and eat together, we do camping together. So there's a lot of things that we did as a group.
I want to think about you know, really like the work that you're doing. I believe it's Ayetas?
Aitas.
Aitas. Okay.
Aitas.
Aitas. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, you know,
He's Filipino. You think you'd know that?
I know.
I knew it was
Shame on me. So, you know, with your work working with the Aitas, and in regards to evangelization, how, I guess, maybe could you talk a little bit about that? How you were able to, you know, bring Christ to that community? Maybe some of the challenges that you have encountered, and do you think now, I guess, would you say from when you worked with them before to how you're working with them now, are they more receptive to receiving Christ?
Brother Ramon and I used to be part of the Student Catholic Action when we were in college.
Okay.
So, we were very active in that too, and we used to do a lot of seminars, evangelization in the rural areas, in the squatter areas in the Philippines, relocation areas. So we worked with those when we were in college. So fast forward, every 2 years, 3 years, we go back to the Philippines and take vacation. Sometimes we take side tour to Asia. And one of our planned side tour to Asia, we weren't able to book a flight, but my cousins were able to. So we got left behind. I said, what are we going to do now for a week? And then I thought about, well, why don't we keep in touch with our Student Catholic Action? Because that group is still very strong in the Philippines. So we kept in contact with them. And so what we did is we organized the Student Catholic Action in our local barrio. Fast forward 1 year later, we went back, we met again with this Student Catholic Action, and they said, Tita, which means like aunt, or, you know, why don't we do feeding program with the Aitas? I said, that's a good idea. So that's how we got involved with it. So we started for 1 week. we started, and talking about blessing in disguise, by the way, during the time when we went for that vacation, the second time around when we went back, we were supposed to have a reunion, but my mom had an accident on the airplane. So we ended up staying in the Philippines for 3 months because she had to heal. And so during the 3 months, that's when we did our work with the ITAS. And so we did feeding program, we did literacy program, and then during the time, none of those, there are like 25 families in there, and none of the kids are going to school at all. None of them. So with what we did we started the literacy program and started them at least to teach them a little bit about Christ, teaching them how to do the sign of the cross and encourage them to be baptized. So some of them are going to the church now, and fast forward 10 years later, because that we started that 10 years ago. At least there are 10 kids. In the beginning, there were 10 kids that are going to school from no kids at all.
Wow, that's awesome.
We also provided them with, incentive to go, like giving them money to buy uniforms, giving them money to supplies. That's some of those money are donated by friends. Some are Cursillistas who donated. So it's so rewarding because now that we go back, we see these children that are in school. Some of them are going to high school, and we're hoping that some of them will go to college eventually. So that was one of the things that we did back in Tamaulipas, that is.
All right. And was part of that, I see one of the pictures you sent, it looks like it's Panan Association projects.
Yes, that Panan is the name of our barrio. So now we have an association here in the United States called Panan Association, which is actually composed of the residents that are now here in the United States, but used to be residents of Panan, Barrio Panan, Botolan, Zambales. And so this last vacation that we had, and we got stuck there during the COVID time, we went in February, and of course, lockdown started March 15, so we couldn't get out of the country. So we were there for 2.5, almost 3 months. And so that was me, my brother, and Brother Ramon. I said, what are we going to do here now? So while we were there, I mean, this thought about always wanting to help, wanting to do something instead of being idle. We raised funds. We communicated with the association here, and we were able to raise $5,000 to buy rice. We gave away rice and money to the poorest of the poor. We have a survey of who are the really, really indigent of the barrio.
One picture that I wanted to kind of, if you could share a little bit about, it's another one of the organizations that you volunteered with, is which the Filipino American Association for Developmental Disabilities. So Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That's part of my work. Well, it's not really part of my work because I organized the Filipino American Association for Developmental Disabilities as it's not really part of my work, but I organized it as a support group for the Filipinos, because I just started this job. I would go, as you know, I would go home visits, and parents would be crying because their children or their child, their son or their daughter has a developmental disability. It's almost like a lost dream when you have a child with developmental disability. So they start crying, and then I would also end up crying with them. And I said, you need somebody else to cry with aside from me. So in the early, probably late, I started working there since 1985. So on my first or second year, I started organizing a support group.
Nice.
And so this has been in existence for over 20 years, a support group. And so what we did is, what we're doing now is, there are 2 big events that we do every year, which is annual Christmas party and picnic. And so we have organized Christmas party and picnic where everybody can come. The entire family can come, extended family with their children. And, we have dance, we have DJs, and, they have such fun because they have the opportunity to dance as much as they can. They can eat as much food as they want. They can act out if they want. There's one children that comes, all he wants to do is stare at people. He can stare at people as much as he wants, and nobody cares, you know. Nobody pays attention, and nobody would give him the dirty look for tearing up paper.
For sure.
So that's been a it's a passion that I do now. I can't tell you the joy that you see when you see them really having fun, dancing, especially during Christmas time. And sometimes I have also asked our Cursilista friends and some of our parishioners. I think we did it like 2 or 3 years. Our church has donated and have adopted some of the families during Christmas. They were giving Christmas presents.
That's very awesome, man. You know what? From our conversation today, I think the both of you have really, you know, shared your example and your witness of, you know, living what Christ asked us, you know, to live, and to be, you know, be with others, to be of support to others. So I feel that you're both just a nice witness from all the work that you're doing, right? Would you say so?
I would. So.
And you know, it's just spontaneous. It's sometimes you don't even plan it; it just happens. And I think that's where the grace of God comes in. And it just, I think, when you just have this, you know, you don't preach your faith. I think you live it.
Right.
I think that's what to us. That's what it means, living our faith. And it just comes out spontaneously, and we do it with joy. I mean, that's the most important thing. Is when we do this, we do it with so much fun, with joy, and it's not even a burden. I mean, sharing your gifts, talents, and your time is a wonderful thing to do.
You know, to what you experienced in the Philippines at that early lockdown, and all the people that are back there right now, your friends and your family that are back there, comparing that to life in lockdown in California and what we're going through in San Diego, how does it compare? Do you see similarities, or are there any stark differences between how the people have to deal with it in the Philippines versus how we're dealing with it here in San Diego?
Filipinos make lemonade out of lemons. So during the lockdown, actually, well, they were very strict. First of all, when it got really bad, I think like on our second month, they got really strict. Actually, the second week, I should say, second week, you're not allowed to cross borders.
Mm.
You cannot go from one town to the other. In fact, at the time, only one person in a household once a week can go to the town to buy groceries.
Oh, wow.
So that's how strict they were. And you know, people complied. We really cannot cross borders. And so and we're pretty obedient. We didn't have any cases then in the barrio where we were at. We didn't have any cases at all. So,
Okay.
but now we heard there are at least 4 cases in our village of how many people? There's probably 2,000 people in our village. Yeah, we have 4 cases.
Okay.
So it's really different because, like I said, Filipinos make lemonade out of lemons. You know, some are really because a lot of them really are in the barrio anyway. Only there are those that would go and go to the town or go to Manila or go someplace else to work, but they just stayed put. It's an opportunity to be with families. You know?
That's true.
Food became scarce, of course, because we couldn't go to the town to do grocery shopping. But luckily, the barrio where we came from, we're close to the ocean, so there are fishermen that would catch fish and sell them to us, and they raise vegetables. So most of the source of the food that we have is local.
And your area is well known for mangoes, right?
Oh yes, oh yes.
Mangoes.
You have the best mangoes.
In other words, too, we have no reason to complain over here, right?
No.
Both of you have been longtime residents of Rancho Penasquitos. Do you know the original community name that was given to this area back in 1823?
Oh, I have no clue.
No clue?
Pinoy Quitos, maybe.
All right, so the name is actually Rancho Santa Maria de los Penasquitos.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't keep it. I like that.
Rancho
know
Santa
that.
Maria.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for the info.
All right. So my question is, who are the two Filipino saints and name a Filipino servant of God?
That's San Lorenzo Ruiz.
One.
Calungsod. One Calungsod.
Correct. And could you name a servant of God? At least one.
Again?
A Filipino servant of God.
Filipino servant of God.
Uh-huh.
That's me.
Not an incorrect answer.
Right. Follow that process. But
You.
one I could think of is his name is he was the Archbishop Teofilo Camomot, well known for his pastoral care.
Oh.
Teofilo Camomot. So we'll get
Servant of
God.
servant of God. So it's part
Oh,
of.
what does that mean?
So that means he's not, is that below blessed?
I believe so.
So servant of God, blessed, then saint?
Oh, okay. Okay. So
God,
that
no,
was,
blessed.
I thought that was probably the hierarchy.
Servant of God.
That's the
blessed,
start. Servant?
then saint. Okay.
Okay. All right.
So, I mean, they don't make many trading cards for servant of God.
Right.
So that one will
That
let
would be you know what my maiden name is? Canonizado, so I'm getting there. That's why I joked at me.
All right, question 3. All right, so when genuflecting, is there a correct knee you should kneel on when genuflecting?
Right?
Supposedly they're right. Right?
Supposed to be the right. Okay. So the answer is yes and no. So I consulted Father Ignatius on this one. And he
Okay.
said that the right knee is traditionally the correct one. And this was because it's steeped in tradition. In the Middle Ages, people would kneel and genuflect on their left knee for kings and nobility. So the church wanted to be set apart and specifically, kneel on the right knee for God, to set apart and not, be of earthly things. So,
Oh, that's good.
but it's not official. You could still genuflect on the left knee and it's okay, but it's small t tradition that it is on the right knee. So you are correct.
Okay. All right. Number 4. What is the most important requirement for canonization to be a saint?
Miracles, at least 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least 2 miracles.
For that.
Ramon, you have any idea?
Yeah, I think.
You must be deceived.
He's just copying my answer.
He's not being here.
He was the one who went to seminary.
Oh, see, we didn't dig into that, but you must be deceased.
No?
What was that?
You must be deceased.
That's right.
That's the first.
That's the first. That's the first
That's
one.
the first step.
You gotta be okay.
To be dead.
All right.
Dead first.
Here's the last question. So this has to do with being a lector, but you can certainly get help from your husband, Marie. So can you name what are 2 of the 3 most commonly mispronounced words when you're lecturing? Can you give me 2 of the top 3 mispronounced words?
Zacchaeus is not in the Bible. I haven't read Zacchaeus. The most mispronounced word when lecturing. No, I don't know. I'm not aware.
Okay, so it's Philippians, Psalms, and Deuteronomy.
Oh, Deuteronomy. Philippians. And what was the other one?
Psalms and Philippians.
As in Philippians. As in Philippians.
Oh my. Oh, okay.
All right.
I agree.
Well, you did great. So we really appreciate you joining us. And
This has been fun. This was really fun.
yeah, this was a lot of fun. It was great getting to know you. And next time I see you at Mass, I'm going to be sure to come up and say hi.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you. It's a pleasure. It's an honor to have been asked. At first, it's like, oh no.
You did great.
Yeah, you both
I
did
really
great.
enjoyed it.
So
So-
thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you
and,
very much, too. God bless.
God bless. And we will see everyone next time on Casting the Net.